Hi, I'm Mike, and our presentation is going to be on the British petroleum oil spill that occurred in 2010 off the Gulf of Mexico and into the coast of New Orleans and that in the southeastern United States seaboard. We're going to be talking about the mismanagement by the by British Petroleum itself and how they conducted themselves both pre and during and post crisis. And now, what was it? There were four critical assumptions on how to face a crisis like this. Uh, Disaster control is best at the lowest level possible, so those on the rig and management associated with that particular rig should have been able to best handle that situation, but they were ill informed and there was a lack of communication with them, which we'll go into a little further. And all the responders and another way to deal with this would be to have all responders participate as partners within the crisis process, both pre, during, and post. But again, a lack of communication and leadership had deteriorated this process. And let's see, all parties involved were to take some duties and functioning and well, sorry, we. Everybody involved was supposed to take the tasks they were given, without complaint, for the just to help in the cleanup process. So, again, a failure of leadership, management, communication, and just all around bad HR processes led to this. And the final critical assumption that should have been followed was that leaders must understand that the configuration and the operation must be approved for situations like this. And as you'll hear further in our video, a lot of these processes were ignored. And also, in regards to the BP oil spill, they should have implemented a model known as the Fink model, which operated on a pre-crisis, post-crisis, chronic crisis, and on a crisis resolution stage. But they did not, and these stages would include pre-crisis, evaluating the situations involved, acute crisis, sort of building up what can be done to sort of deflate the situation, chronic crisis, dealing with situations that get severely out of hand, and the crisis resolution is sort of how to wind down something that could have been either pre-acute or chronic crisis situations. So I'm that's the introduction to our video, and I'm going to pass you off to Matt for a little more.
Hello, my name is Matt Harrison, and I'm here to talk to you today about one area of major concern in regards to BP's organization, and that is the communication between employees. Also, on a management level, there is where all of the issues stem from, and BP's management isn't the only company to blame. Transocean and Halliburton companies were also implicated due to their cooperation in cost-cutting activities, making the rig potentially dangerous. Not only did BP not use a diagnostic tool to measure the strength of the cement in the well, but they decided to ignore a failed pressure test prior to the explosion, which cost 11 men their lives. It is clear that BP's management needs to stop worrying about cutting costs and to make a profit and make more safety a number one priority. One staff member stated that there has been a lot of incidents serious enough to trigger a panel investigation. Also, William Riley, the co-chair of the investigation, stated that the series of decisions that doomed Macondo evidenced a failure of management, and good management could have avoided catastrophe. Consequently, as previously stated, the BP oil spill was directly related to the company's management not communicating properly throughout the organization.
Hi, I'm Andrew. So, post-spill for BP after their Atlantic Gulf crisis, communication and group dynamics as well as leadership were all very important. First of all, in the communication and leadership departments, Tony Hayward, the CEO, had a lot of responsibility and expectations on his shoulders to make sure that the public is aware of the issue. He made a sincere apology, and he did take responsibility and stepped up a little when Basically, he had the opportunity to just resign as CEO and pass off the problem to someone else. However, some of this was mitigated when he made comments like, "I want this to be over and I just want my life back," or when he said that the environmental impact would be insignificant, which obviously wasn't the case. Right? There's a lot of group dynamics going on and different groups all working together, including different oil companies that basically wanted to preserve the reputation of drilling for oil and make sure that the crisis was the least severe it could be, so that in the future they would have the opportunity to do deep sea drilling. They were working basically in tandem with environmental groups, volunteers of all types, and the 4 sections of group formation: forming, storming, norming, and performing all took place. Basically, though, because of the severity of the situation, how serious everyone was taking it, groups were formed a lot faster. There's a lot less of the forming, storming stages, and they skipped right to performing basically because everyone involved knew the severity of the situation and was really worried about basically getting to work as soon as possible, which was nice to see in what was a big crisis. In conclusion, with our whole case here, the culture of BP is a big issue. Their whole company is focused on cost savings ahead of social responsibility, as well as ethics, and communication in their culture is lazy. Right? There's no upward communication effectively, as we've seen in a few different examples by the guys before me, who basically mentioned that if the case was where upward communication was more effective, then higher managers could have made decisions to basically prevent or reduce the severity of this situation. So overall, the communication, the leadership, and the culture of BP was just begging for this to happen. A more responsible company could have avoided this. Thanks very much for watching, guys.